All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a quick little video. I'm a little upset because I bought my first ever camera. It's like some cheap little thing, and I slept in to noon today. I guess I didn't set an alarm, and I missed my show, and almost missed a big work call. I fumbled the bag, and apparently eBay is saying, like, yeah, you got to fork over $1 in Canadian bucks to get this shipped to you Saturday. So this is probably the last video you'll see with everything looking like this, because I'm about to make a lot of changes. But the camera's going to have to wait, I guess, until Saturday, which I don't understand. Just leave it on the doorstep. But we're not talking about eBay in today's video. Apparently the Brooklyn Nets have interest in KJ Martin Jr., and I guess that makes sense. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm definitely getting away from the Paul Millsap, LaMarcus Aldridge trap. I'm going to call it a trap, Blake Griffin. I still genuinely don't understand why these teams are like just losing their mind over these older players that are past their prime and, if anything, liabilities. But to each their own. Maybe one would be cool if you're like the Nets, like maybe one of LMA, Blake Griffin, or Paul Millsap, but I still think that's pushing it. So them being interested in KJ makes sense. My thing is this, and this is something we're low on battery. I don't know what just showed up on the screen, but I was low on battery. So anyways, I don't really know. This is something I've talked about in the last whenever I talk KJ Martin Jr., is something I try to bring up as much as I can. I don't have any specific thing I want from the KJ Martin trade. I don't think genuinely you can get much value from him. Maybe if the whole him and his dad thing didn't happen, like if there weren't reports that he wanted out or he wanted a bigger opportunity or that he inquired to the Rockets about a possible trade, if his dad didn't go on the podcast saying, some other team should take advantage, like if none of that happened, maybe you'd be able to get some bench warmer. But with the new CBA agreement, I know I keep saying this, but it's gonna go down and money's gonna be a crazy thing next season. I don't want any contracts. I literally do not want any contracts. I don't want any free agents. I want to go into next season with the roster we have. I don't care if it's the worst roster in the NBA. I want as much money I want as much money as we possibly can have going into next offseason. I think that is the most important part, and that's why, personally, to me, we are seeing a very slow, a very boring, and a very non-headline popping offseason. Like, what just happened? Nerlens Noel to the Clippers. Oh my God, like I'm losing my freaking mind. That's like the best. Jeremy Grant's like probably going to be the best trade of the offseason, because all these teams are starting to realize, like, oh shoot, we need to go in one of two ways. We need to either trade away all of our bad contracts so we can have money next season, or we need to bite the bullet and be like the New York Knicks and like we're desperate to win that badly. I don't understand it. I know Brunson's a stud, but I don't think he's that much of a stud to pay him $100 million in 4 years. I think that's way too much money, and they're going to be shafted. So the Rockets, don't do any of that stuff. KJ Martin Jr., I'd take a second-round pick. I'd actually even take cash or card if you – here's my bank account. I would take whatever I can really get from him. It's super unfortunate. This is something I've talked about. I really don't want them to trade KJ Martin Jr. I'd rather them eventually trade Tate. I made a video on Tate yesterday. I'm pretty laid back with this whole situation. Like, as long as it's not a big deal in the locker room, keep KJ Martin Jr. If it rubbed Roth the wrong way and KJ actually wants a trade, go trade him, get whatever you can for him. No bad contracts. I'm good with it. Like I said, I really am just a dude with an opinion on the moves they make. I don't really have a strong opinion on what they should do with KJ. I think he is going to get traded, but at the same time, I didn't think we'd get that package back for Christian Wood. I thought Christian Wood get traded, and I wanted him to trade Christian Wood, but I'm in my mom's basement making videos. So that's really it for today. I'm trying to think of any Knicks. I don't think they'd give us like Kessler. I don't think they'd give us Cam Thomas. I don't think they'd give us Sharp. If you're the Rockets and you could honestly get Sharp for Martin, I mean, that would kind of be really cool to me. But I think from the Rockets standpoint, like a second round pick honestly is more so what I'm looking for, because KJ is not at the point of a first round pick. But at the same time, like, I know we're reportedly interested in Claxton and Jalen Smith. And so for me, I don't want any roster back, not only because of money and contracts, but also because I don't want another roster spot. Like, we already have a ton of people that aren't going to be able to be on this team next season. And I think a lot of the people at risk of it are, I mean, like maybe Nwaba, but primarily guys like Daishen Nix. I don't know if Daishen will be with us. Like, I mean, what do we have? We have to clear like five roster spots, something like that. The Wall buyout helped, and a KJ trade would help. I don't think it's that desperate, though. We're not that dire to be unloading these players. So, like I said, if KJ actually wants to get traded, he'll get traded. If that was just fake news, but Raf doesn't care, they'll keep him. I don't really know what the situation is, and I've made this video go on too long to just talk about the Brooklyn Nets' rumored interest in him. So that's it for today. Let me know what you guys think about KJ Martin Jr. possibly getting traded, or do you want to keep him, or what's your word with it? And I'll catch you guys later.